Well, it's 2021, and I'm doing everything I can to help ignore the fact that Sony is slowly killing the PlayStation Vita. And my way of doing that is by reviewing as many new PlayStation Vita games in 2021. So today's review is of Astro Aqua Kitty for the PlayStation Vita. It is currently available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and will be available on Xbox and PC in the coming months. I was actually fortunate enough to get a review code of the PlayStation Vita version by the developer Tikipod, so big shoutouts to them for helping me with this review. So, Astro Aqua Kitty is kind of the spiritual successor and not really sequel to the original Aqua Kitty that released many years back. Aqua Kitty was a Defender-like game, very arcadey, very pick-up and play, not really too much diversity in terms of what you're doing in each level, just defending the different cats, help everyone get milk, don't die, rinse and repeat. Now, Astro Aqua Kitty takes the guts of what that game had, the fact that you're controlling a ship underwater, lots of cats, lots of different animals, and kind of expands that into a bunch of different genres and kind of feelings of like huge, almost like Metroid-like maps of coming back to things when you have certain either items unlocked or different crew members to help you. You're exploring 8 different levels, and it was really funny of every time I kept thinking, oh yeah, this level, like that's probably like the average size of a level. I feel like everyone got bigger, wider, longer, and it never kind of got so large and so long that it seemed like it was daunting. It was just more of a thing of I was genuinely surprised at the scale and the scope of this game from a developer who I've really liked for a long time, whether it be Rockboshers or even the original Aqua Kitty. So Astro Aqua Kitty took me a little over 10 hours to beat, and in terms of the gameplay, I was really impressed. It was so hard for me at so many different points of I had to keep reminding myself like, okay, hey, I'm playing on normal. And this might have just been the pilot setup I had, because depending on whatever pilot and engineer you have, certain abilities are unlocked. So there are 4 different pilots, 4 different engineers to choose from. You can mix and match them however you want. Various different difficulty levels ranging from very easy to very hard. And if you are apparently into BDSM or other torture devices in your life, there's also permadeath. Thank you, Tikipod, for not putting a permadeath trophy for the Platinum. That would have been truly helpful. And yeah, in terms of difficulty, I thought it was interesting in the point of I was able to beat it on normal. I was able to do 100% of everything I could on a playthrough, and my only real kind of complaint with it was I was able to do this, but I could see it getting really frustrating for someone, whether they're on hard, normal, or just not in love with their difficulty setting. It felt like something that should be able to go back and forth in terms of changing your difficulty. There's no way once you select your pilot and engineer to change the difficulty, change who you have as a playable character. You have to start a fresh new save, and that just is a really weird thing for a game that, like, on the outside looks like something that you could kind of change it around because there's no trophies or achievements tied to specific characters or difficulty level. It just more is a personal preference of like, hey, how do you want to play this game? What's your personal style? So that's a little bit of a complaint in terms of I wish you could change your difficulty mid-playthrough. And on that same note, there are 8 different levels. They're all really big, really huge, but if you don't complete all of the objectives, and if you're just kind of playing through it a little bit more casually, and let's say you miss something in level 6, but you're on level 8 already and about to beat the game, the level select screen looks like you can go back and select them at any time, but you can't. So that means if you miss something on level 6, you've got to go all the way back, start a new fresh save, and just get all the way back to the part that you missed. So kind of a bummer in terms of if you want to have that one playthrough completionist aspect, but at the end of the day, not a huge deal. For the asking price that they have, and obviously it's going to vary depending on your platform and whenever sales are going on in your region, I think this was a really fair game. I hadn't played a PlayStation Vita game in this long that challenged me so much, had such great graphics and presentations. Like, for such a simple looking game on the outside, there's so many little fine touches that I really loved. And Tikipod, I don't know if you were always designing this as being one of the final Vita games, but it seems really fitting of just like this wasn't just, oh, it's one of the last games we can get out there. This was like, hey, this is an important platform to us. We want to respect it and put something of quality out there. And Astro Aqua Kitty definitely marks that for me. It had a very fun art style. I loved the music and presentation for it. Every time I was jumping in, whether it be to fight a boss for the first time or the 50th time, I really enjoyed it. Having the different weapons was such a blast, and actually having to get out of my comfort zone of, hey, I can't just keep using machine gun, I can't just keep using the big laser. Using new weapons just because what am I coming across? And everything was just such a blast. It was a very, very good pick up and play, something I'm picking up at work or maybe playing in bed. For the Vita, I just thought it was so perfect in terms of every little aspect for it. I wouldn't be surprised if this was something that started out exclusively for the Vita and then just kind of came to everything else, because God knows they have to make money somehow. But Tikipod, my hat is off to you. Thank you so much for making such an awesome game. If you are curious about Astro Aqua Kitty, I highly, highly recommend it. Astro Aqua Kitty is definitely not the final swan song for the Vita, but is definitely going to be one of those games I fondly remember as just being such a blast to play. And even though Astro Aqua Kitty had me dying hundreds of times throughout my playthrough and eventual platinum, it's still an experience I'm really glad I got to have, and is one I'm going to be recommending people play wherever they can, as long as I can, whenever it comes up. So, highly recommend. Check it out if you want. If you have played Astro Aqua Kitty, let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk with you all about it, either there or on Twitter. You can follow me at Torchwood4SP. And yeah, just let me know what you think. Check out the game. Once again, thank you so much, Tikipod, for providing this review code. And I will see you all later. Have a good one.